Hello everybody and welcome to the TARDIS Zone. I've got a brand new video for you guys. So BBC in all their wisdom have decided to do a TV show. Yes, a TV show. I think it's a 6-part miniseries on the paedophile Jimmy Saville, and they think that's not okay. And apparently this is a story that needs to be told because we're not going to glamorize what happened, but we're going to show it. This story doesn't even need to be told. Even before I read the article, it's wrong. I don't care if victims are involved. It's wrong. BBC are using these people. They're exploiting these victims to tell a story. It's disgusting. The case is still open anyway, so I'd question why BBC are actually doing something like this when the case is ongoing. So I'm puzzled. But surprise, surprise, Piers Wenger has greenlit this rubbish. So let's go and read the article anyway, folks. Listen, I'm dead against this, to be honest with you. I have spoke to people. They said, you know, maybe sometimes victims need to talk about what happened and stuff like that. Well, this happened, how many years ago now? They've had plenty of time to speak. They don't need to be coming on the show and reliving it all again or seeing it on TV being relived again. So this whole show is going to chronicle the beginnings of Jimmy Saville, and then it's going to show his rise to stardom, and then him obviously fiddling with a lot of kids. And BBC think that that's okay for to use the license fee money to show us something about a scumbag. And remember, this is the same scumbag organization that actually had a night dedicated to this scumbag, even after the fact they found out he was guilty of molesting kids on the premises of BBC studios. They still had a night to celebrate his death. So this is why I have a problem with it. BBC, what is BBC's motives? It's not for the victims, right? This is pure and simple them trying to win ratings because they know the name Jimmy Saville. People will be interested. They'll want to see this. And that's the only reason why they're doing it. It's disgusting. It's not to do with victims. And I'm not buying this crap off anybody that tells me, well, maybe no. See, many interviews with victims, trust me, they want to get that man out of their heads as soon as. They don't want to be reminded. And by the way, his personal assistant still believes he's innocent anyway. So again, you know, I just think this is wrong. Right, let's get to the article anyway. Let's read this article. It's from BBC themselves, actually. So I went and got the one that was in BBC because I want to actually hear how they spin it. So this is BBC News. So here we go. BBC to make a drama about Jimmy Saville's life. And there he is, the big ugly bastard there. So anybody that doesn't know, this is a man that was responsible for molesting sick, dying kids in hospital. He also abused people on the set of Top of the Pops and in his dressing room within BBC premises. When BBC were actually informed that this had happened, they covered it up. And loads of people within the BBC in the 70s and 80s knew what Jimmy Saville was doing, and not one of them would open their mouth because apparently he was this powerful. Apparently he was friends with all the establishment, i.e. the Queen, the royal family, which he was. He even got knighted by the Queen. Actually, it's kind of funny that most of these pedophiles actually have been knighted by the Queen. I don't know why nobody has actually looked into that, because the royal family has had loads of shit thrown at them over the years. And one of the things is this whole them, you know, being this underworld where there's pedophile, where kids are brought to parties and all of this crap, right? So this is this scumbag here, right? So thousands, by the way, thousands of victims, not a few, thousands of victims. They still don't believe that they've gotten all of his victims. This is the same man whose mother died, and he actually lived with his mother, his dead mother's corpse, in his house for a few months, and everybody thought that was okay. So The BBC just announced its plans for a mini-series about disgraced late TV personality Jimmy Saville. The Reckoning, which will be shown on BBC One, will tell the story of the presenter's rise and sexual abuse scandal that emerged after his death. Executive producer Jeff Pope, who should be ashamed of himself, said it was a story that had to be told. No, it's not a story that has to be told, you sick fucking cunt, right? Doesn't need to be told. He said, we must understand why a man like Jimmy Saville seemed to remain immune for so long. No, we don't. How he remained immune for so long is because everybody covered up his nastiness. If someone had come out and actually said that he was doing this in the beginning, all of those other victims would have been saved from the cruelty of this man. So shut your fucking mouth, Jeff. It is not known yet who will be cast in the role. Whoever actually does take that role, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And to be honest with you, I hope your career gets ruined as well, prick. Saville was one of the UK's top entertainers in the 70s and 80s, known for TV shows like Top of the Pops and Jim Will Fix It. Well, he did fucking fix it, didn't he? And stints on BBC Radio 1. After his death in 2011, an ITV documentary investigated claims of sexual abuse against him, leading to further allegations of abuse and a string of public inquiries. Right? These found that the broadcaster had leveraged his involvement in organisations such as charities, hospitals, prisons, and the BBC to prey on hundreds of people, mostly vulnerable females. This story does not need to be told. We already know every gruesome little detail because of the case. The only reason why BBC are doing this is because of ratings and nothing else. They don't give a fuck about any victim, because when they got caught, they wouldn't even apologize until they were forced to apologize, right? BBC drama controller Piers Wenger, the fucking dickhead, said the new drama did not intend to sensationalize these crimes, but to give his victims a voice. Bullshit. Is his victims going to be in it? No. So you're not giving them a voice. What you're doing is you're making them relive something that was nasty and horrible. For what? Ratings, pricks. He said, we will work with survivors to ensure their stories are told with sensitivity and respect, and to examine the institutes. Well, I tell you something, if any of these people pop themselves off after this drama, we know who to blame. Piers Wenger and that gobshite Pete, who thinks that this story needs to be told. See, this is what the problem is, right? If you have a trauma like that in your life, I'm sorry, right? You might want to get it off your chest at some stage and talk about it. I agree with that. But then after a few years after you've spoken to them, you don't want this shit brought up again. All of these victims were already interviewed and did their thing, right? I don't give a shit. BBC shouldn't even went to them. This is disgusting, right? These people are trying to move on with their lives, and now BBC want to drag it all up again. Right? We've seen all the documentaries. We don't need to see any more about this weird fucker. Right? He was a weird fucker. He died and he got away with it. Right? If that happened, we should dig up his fucking body, yeah? And fucking bloody fucking chop it up into fucking pieces and fucking fuck it out into the sea. He doesn't even deserve to be buried. Fucking wanker. Right, let me see. He says, drama has the ability. Don't get Chris Chibnall to write or he'd be fucking screwed. Drama has the ability to tackle sensitive life subjects and consider the impact of the crime on its survivors and what lessons can be learned to stop this from ever happening again. This is the lesson you learn. As soon as you see someone in BBC studios touch a kid inappropriately, you go and you fucking report them. That's how you stop it, you morons. There he is there. Look at that dirty bastard with his cigar. And he always had a cigar. There's actually rumours what he used to do with those cigars before he put them in his mouth. A bit like Bill Clinton. Oh, dirty bastards. In 2016, an independent investigation found that BBC missed opportunities to stop monstrous abuse by the DJ because of culture of fear. Fuck off. The Dame Janet Smith review identified 72 victims of Saville in connection with his work at the BBC, including 8 were raped. 11 of his victims were younger than 12. The BBC was also criticised for dropping a Newsnight investigation into the sexual abusive claims. So even when their own investigative team, Newsnight, which used to be very good. Yeah. They said, no, you can't run with that. You'll ruin the organisation. You know, we got the so, but ITV was having none of it. And only for ITV, none of this would have happened. But ITV picked it up, and the BBC's former Director General, George, later admitted to MPs that this had been the wrong decision. If it was one of your kids, George, trust me, you would have made the right decision. But the fact that it wasn't anybody that you knew, you didn't give a flying fuck like the rest of the BBC. So the reckoning will be written by Neil McKay, who's never going to get a job after this, who was behind Appropriate Adult, the BAFTA award winning, well, he won't be winning anymore, and serial killer Fred West. He and Pope also worked on Moorside. He will never work again. And the disappearance of Shannon Matthews and the forthcoming 4 lives on the murders of 4 young gay men by Stephen Port. None of these guys will ever work again. The actor that they get to play Jimmy Saville, if BBC approach you, do not take this job. You're going to ruin your career. Nobody wants this. The reaction on social media, especially, and I know social media isn't the British public, but if you look at the social media, nobody wants this. Nobody thinks this should even be made, right? The victims are still alive. Some of these victims are still alive. This is a story that you tell when all these victims are dead, right? That's when you tell this story. When all the victims are dead and they don't have to suffer anymore, that's when you do a story like this. But there you go. There's that ugly. There you go. So the most evil man in Britain, right there. And remember, right, they don't go into details there. They only talk about the shit that he did on Top of the Pops and the BBC studios. But they don't talk about all the hospitals that he went to with these little secret entrances so he could go in and abuse kids, right? All the charity runs that he did. After the runs, he'd go visit sick kids in the hospital, and then he'd have time alone with them, and he'd rape them or whatever he did, right? And some of those victims are still alive, and BBC wants to drag it all up. I don't care if they're getting help off victims here. They shouldn't even went to them. This is a disgrace. It should never have happened. Why do you think no other TV station has ever picked up and done this? ITV could have done it. They're a rival. I'd rather they do it because they do a bit of justice if they were going to do a story like this. But the fact that the BBC are picking it up themselves and doing it themselves, just look at the ratings of all their shows. They're only doing this for one thing and one thing only, right? And anybody that's involved in it ought to be ashamed of themselves. Imagine making people relive all of this trauma because you want to do a drama that'll be probably a ratings hit, because that's how you have to look at it. And what's his name there? Yeah, Jeff Pope will never work again. Piers Wenger, we're trying to get rid of him. He will be gone. And then the fella that's writing this, where is he? What's his name? Neil McKay. Never work again. They'll never work again. Guaranteed. Can't be doing this. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. I think it's all wrong. I don't know what kind of world we're living in now. I mean, you get shows out there now that are actually trying to desensitize us against pedophiles, say, oh, pedophiles are great and all of this crap. This is what this shit will be, right? It's the left. This is the left. Oh yeah, we'll tell you about Jimmy Saville, right? We'll tell you about the mistakes that we made, but then they will. Someone said it on Twitter, and that's what started the whole thing off. They will make us sympathize with this scumbag, BBC. Remember, as I said, this is the same organization after he died, after they found out, were given a report and told, yes, he did abuse people on the BBC studios. And what did they decide to do? Instead of cancelling the Jimmy Saville night that they had planned, they went ahead with it anyway. And he had loads of kids on talking about how great Uncle Jimmy was. And there he was, you know, for years doing what he was doing. So there you go. None of these gobshites are going to work again. And I'd advise any actor that has been approached to take this role, do not take this role. You will ruin your career. This is not going down well. I know there are some people out there, especially people on the left, that actually want to see this. I don't know why you would want to see this. I don't know why you would want to put the victims through this. To be quite honest, I think it's sickening. To be quite honest, as I said, this is something that should be made when all these victims are dead. Which means I wouldn't be around, obviously, to see it being made because I'd probably be dead by then. But that's when it should be made, when all these victims have passed away and they can't be hurt anymore. So shame on the BBC, shame on the writers behind this, shame on Piers Wenger, and also shame on the actor that does decide to take this role. And do you know what? There's only one actor I can think of off the top of my head that could play him and do him justice. And I'm afraid to say his name because if he gets mentioned and he does actually do it, I'll be very disappointed. But I will mention his name. David Tennant would probably be able to play Jimmy Saville. Because if you haven't seen him in his latest show, Des, trust me, he could do creepy. But I don't want him anywhere near this. I honestly hope there are no ex-Doctor Who cast members going to be in this because, no, I'm sorry, this is wrong. I don't know how you all feel about it. But let me know in the comments how you feel. This is a little video for you because I didn't do a live stream on my channel yesterday. I was on Ninja Knight's channel. We're going to be rotating on both their channels. So we're on my channel next week, but we're going to have a weekly show. Today is Thursday, so I'm going to be on Rabbi's channel, obviously, today. So I'm throwing this video up, and when I throw this video up, I'll say we'll be getting ready to gear up to go on to Rabbi's channel. So after you watch this video, head over to Rabbi's channel. We'll be there for the quiz and all of that other stuff. And then Friday, we're back with the Tarda Zone talks. Next week, we've got one more movie vault, and then Rabbi has agreed to stop the movie vault for a week or two while we do the Star Wars, because we're doing Star Wars. So we got Star Wars coming next week as well. We've got plenty coming, but I want to hear your thoughts on this whole Jimmy Savile thing. Broke yesterday. I was going to do a video on it yesterday, but I needed to calm down. And I'm still not calm. I think it's a disgrace. I honestly do. BBC wanting to rehash all of this. It's ridiculous. There's no need for it. We know what he did. We've seen, everybody has seen the police reports, right? It's a big fucking thing. We've all seen, the news have explained to us what he did, right? And we still don't know how many victims are out there. So I do think it's a bit short-sighted on the BBC to be even doing this when we don't even know all the victims yet anyway. So, you know, there's so many problems with this, but let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think it's right that BBC are going to do something like this? Do you think this story does need to be told? Let me know in the comments. If you agree with me and you think that this story shouldn't be told and the victims should be left alone in peace, or at least wait until they're passed away before you do this story. So let me know what you think there as well. Right, I'm going to head off because I have to get ready for Rabbi's stream. See that? 20 minutes. I did a 20-minute video and I'm actually going to leave when I say I'm going to leave. So I'm going to leave you with Lee's beautiful work. Check out Lee's work if you want your channel rebranded and all that. You can find him on this channel, on Rabbi's channel. He does be out and about there, but he does some great work. So Fridays, as you know, is we might as well give the TARDIS Zone Talks a bit of promotion. Right, we're on the 20-minute mark. I'll see you later. See you over on Rabbi's channel, and I'll see you over the weekend on mine as well. See you later. Bye-bye. Oh, and Jimmy Savile's a prick, and anybody associated with him in the past is also a prick.